So I've just finished watching episodes 1 and 2 of Maul, and I gotta say, so far the show is very solid with badass action, cool animation, and that epic badassery that we get from Maul. And I gotta say, whoever came up with the idea to use painted backgrounds, you deserve a raise. And Disney, you better give that person a raise so that way they could do that for future Star Wars shows. And honestly, it just looks really cool. And I'm glad that it stepped up in that department. So, yeah, now to my review of episode 1. So far, episode 1 is very solid with good action, really great gunfight, and I think the chase scene was also episode 1. The chase scene was really well animated and choreographed. And at the beginning of the episode when Maul comes out, I was smiling through and through because we haven't gotten epicness from Disney Star Wars for quite some time. And and if people are going to say, "Oh, well that makes you a Disney shill." I don't care. I don't care because I like the show. I liked it. I don't care what you say. And wait, I got sidetracked. Well, let's get back to the topic at hand. So I kind of like Darth Talon's debut, even though I don't think that she'll be Talon quite yet. But for now, for the sake of the show, I'm gonna call her not Talon. So the Jedi Master and not Talon and not, oh gosh, are hungry and going to get some fruit. Not Talon decides to go get it. And I think that that's a little bit on the illogical side since they both can use the Force to go and get it. Even though he was trying to teach her a lesson to not steal things no matter what, but if you're that hungry, just like use the Force to go get the food. That's one thing that that was illogical to me for episode 1. Another thing that was illogical to me was like stealing the bank protocol droid, even though I don't know if that's going to be used for like episode 3 or beyond, but for now, it just didn't make any sense whatsoever. But hopefully they'll utilize that in a future story and this part of the review could be obsolete at that point. And yeah, and just with the side characters alone, they're not as interesting as Maul, but hopefully that could give the side characters an opportunity to eventually be really good characters. And yeah, that's my review for episode 1 of Maul. Now on to episode 2. And oh yeah, I forgot. Before I do, I love the breakout scene. That scene was incredible. That's all I'm going to say on it. That's all I'm going to say. So, now on to episode 2. So, episode 2 shows Maul, the gang, Vario, and not Talon as Maul places the two of them in a cell. Two of them in cells that correlate with each other reason for reasons. And I kind of like this monologue of Maul that it's not always the black and white, good and evil. And I know the complexity of that. I love the complexity of that. And yeah, and I also really like how he got on the Pike ship and basically was massacring the Pikes, and the lead Pike that was originally going to Coruscant, but that droid turned them around and went to that other planet. And what that Pike person said, that they've been working for somebody else, and that somebody else is responsible for everybody betraying Maul at that point. So yeah, and then we get more stuff with the police character. I'm gonna call him Brandon Lawson. I got his last name right, but I don't know if I got his first name right. I don't know. Maybe in future episodes I'll get it right. So Brandon Lawson goes to this shady nightclub owner for information on Maul's group with the Maldalorians and the Night Brothers, or a couple of Night Brothers, and he knows like a little bit to absolutely nothing at all. Again, not as interesting as Maul's revenge against those that have betrayed him, because that is the story, not him hunting down Maul. So yeah, and we do see a scene of not Talon moving that force, or moving that cell out of the way, which was partially broken thanks to either one of the Maldalorians. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call Maul's group of Mandalorians, the Maldalorians, and and the Night Brothers. And I kind of like that reference from the comics, where both the Night Brothers and the Maldalorians got Maul out of prison. And I think that's where that team up first happened. I don't know. If I've gotten that wrong, let me know. But yeah. And so far, first two episodes, very solid. I'm going to give episode 1, I'm going to give it like an 8.5 out of 10, just because the action was amazing. The animation and design were absolutely awesome, but the side characters' storylines could have been elevated. So, yeah, and then for episode 2, I'm going to give it an 8.3. Not as good as episode 1, but as every bit good. So, yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next thing. Later.